This is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you doing? Today is Wednesday the 26th, and I'm gonna do clips again because I've been doing inventory. The highlighted ones are fall winter items that I marked off so I don't take it with me to my spring craft fairs and I just drop something. So as of right now, I have about $4,300 in amigurumis based on my pricing and what I have in stock. And again, I didn't separate out price-wise the fall items, but probably about $100 or so, $200 of that is fall, maybe $250. Maybe three. So anyway, a small portion of that is fall holiday-ish items, and oh, I have such a headache. I have an appointment to get to, so this will be there'll be a stop and restart of this, but won't make a difference to you. And again, I'm looking in the viewfinder instead of the lens, so apologies. Oh, hey, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by, thanks for visiting, and I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this episode. To you OGs, I'm having tea, decaf, although caffeinated tea really doesn't do much for me because I have a headache. I don't want to compound anything, so I'm having decaf. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you things that I've recently been working on and things I had worked on in between when I made the last video clip and now. Basically. So I had mentioned that I was going to, and you'll see strings hanging because I was doing inventory. I priced everything, and I have bags. I have so many bags of things. Yeah, because a lot of them are big. I have one big bag, and then I have smaller bags, and this headache is really doing me a number. So if I seem spaced out or what have you, that's why. But anyway, in I think the last clip, I said I was going to do an Emineko with the bitty stripe that I bought from Red Heart, and I did. And it looks very similar to one that I made in the past, I think, now that I look at it again. And it's on Ravelry, so I will. And I just realized her eyes are a little askew. But then again, nobody has that amount of symmetry. Very few people do on their faces, so. If I remember, I will get a picture from the Ravelry one and put it up here somewhere. But this is the bitty stripe, and I did not, obviously, you can't color control because they're small stripes, bitty stripes. The hand is the paws, and the muzzle is the, what is it? I think it's some I Love This yarn. I don't remember the colorway that I've had for eons when I used to shop there. I no longer shop at the HL. But this is what the bitty stripe looks like in an Emineko. I did the arms first. So this is the I Love This yarn. And again, I didn't color control it, so it came out however. Then I did the arms, I did the legs. The Emineko pattern that's out there on Ravelry, the original one, has you sewing on the limbs. I attach it now as I go. Oh, and the body and the head are done separately. I do it in one. I think after like the 5th or 6th time I did it, I now do the head and body as one. So I do the limbs and then I crochet them in as I go. There is or was a group on Ravelry all about the Emineko, and I found it once and I saved. They had a PDF, or I think it was a Word doc, of how to, or where to add the arms and legs as you go. I don't remember what that group is. I haven't gone in there. I just remember saving it, and now I don't refer to it. I just do it, you know, it's been years, so I think I'm up to probably close to 100 echoes I've made. Not all of them on Ravelry, but 20 plus are on Ravelry. What else? What else? Theirs is bottom up because you do everything separate, and the body is done from the bottom up, so it shows you where to put it bottom up, because I do it top down. Basically, I do my own thing, but I crochet them in. So this is the bitty stripe. The ears, I think I did last. I think, yes, I did last, because the tail has a little bit of the green in there, so this morphed into that, and then I used the rest for the tail. So this is what the bitty stripe looks like in single crochet. And I just, because I made it a girl one, I just gave her a little flower, little eyelashes, and the nose in the pattern is much smaller, but I always do something different. So a little smile. Oh, I did do my Emmy and Echo, and then I've done one huge one in the past, and I mentioned that I bought the Soho Mystical from Hirschner's, and I bought a lot, so I have a lot to use. So I decided to pair it with the bitty stripes. So I started doing it double with the Soho, which is basically like a, what they call, Michael's now have a skinny, it's basically like a skinny chenille, but it's even skinnier than the skinny chenilles out there. I decided to hold it double, just the bitty stripe with the Soho Mystical. I didn't like how small it was. I should have stuck with that, but I didn't like at first how small it was. So I doubled the bitty stripe. I pulled from the center and the outside, and I held it with the Soho Mystical. And somebody will like the effect. I don't like the effect. I don't like the effect of the Soho Mystical, the look of it in here. I think if I hold it with a yarn, a color changing yarn, I would do it closer to like a lighter color. Or I don't know if it's just the bitty stripe. Basically, I don't like the look. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. But this is what it looks like. And basically it is bigger than newborn size. It is a baby, basically. Bitty striped held double, or bitty stripe doubled and held with the Soho Mystical, so it's triple stranded. And I use some, did I have some of that Dollar Tree, I think it's just Premier Plush, I forget what it is, but I made chicks out of one because I had a gold color, I had a beige color, and I didn't realize I had a little bit of this one there. So I still have some of that. So I use that for the nose just to give it some texture. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. You can see it's fuzzy texture. And I just used some red scraps to give that. Boy gave this one eyebrows. I didn't give the girl eyebrows. Gave, in the pattern, it's got like a small eyebrow, like a one stitch eyebrow. But I don't like the white, the way the white goes through it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's huge. And this I used I'd have to look on Ravelry. I either used a 4.5 or a 5.5, because I can't find my 5mm clover hook. It's in some project bag somewhere, and I've looked, I swear, but I don't know where it is. And I have two. I have some bags upstairs. Maybe it's in there. But I have two, but I don't know where it is. And I don't know why. I can't find it, but I can't. So as I'm talking to you, I am looking up on Ravelry what I used. Yep, I used a 4.5mm for that, for the triple stranding. So it was a workout for the hand. And for the bitty stripe, I think I used a 3.5. So bitty stripes with 3.5mm, and the triple stranded with 4.5mm. So look at the difference. I mean, it's just, tiny. So this, I guess, is what the normal size would be. And I've made this size. This is probably like the third, because I made a Christmas one that was about this color, this size. This is maybe the third or fourth time I've made one this size. But yeah, that's them. But I don't like the Soho Mystical in here at all. I held the Soho Mystical tripled for, see my eye through there, for the snout. And this was the, I forget what, actually no, it wasn't Soho Mystical, or it was Soho Mystical that I held with the new Skinny Chenille from Michaels, the variegated colored ones. This is the gray base. Yep, and I did that for this as well. So you could see, if you see color specks in this, that's the Soho Mystical, and then the gray here is that Skinny Chenille. So once it focuses, face front, pretty significant. Look at the head size. So if you're new here, I'm not a cat person at all. When I was pregnant with Minion 1, where we lived, the neighbors next door were not mentally well. There was a lot of alcoholism and just mental issues, and they had cats that they didn't take care of, and they roamed, and they just kept multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And we ended up having to call the town and the SPCA, and they came after a lot of back and forth. And when we stopped counting, they had 26 cats that they had removed. I think they left like 2 or 3, but they had neutered or spayed them. But there were a lot of cats, and they weren't done by the time we had stopped counting. So I'm not a cat person. I wasn't a huge cat person before. After that, I'm not a cat person. But I love Echo. I'm pretty sure this was my very first amigurumi pattern that I did. And yeah. So keeping watch on the time, because I have to leave in about 15 minutes or so. All right. So I got Echo done for Claudia. Hey, Claudia. Did she change her name? Oh my gosh, I don't remember your channel name. Claudia Carpenter Designs, did you change it to that? I'm pretty sure. But Claudia despises or heavily dislikes homespun yarn, line brand homespun, that boucle yarn. And I remember like years ago she was going on about it. So I ended up using some that I had, and I made her an Echo, and I mailed it to her as a surprise. And she was just commenting on something, because what did I make out of the Hellspun? Anyway, I started one in Hellspun. I got distracted by other things, so I have like I think 3 of the limbs done, and that's as far as I've gotten. But I'm working on another one in line brand homespun yarn. All right, so that's that. A sort of remake that I did. So I did there's the chicken and the egg that's going around, and I just looked at it, did my own thing. And I made one, and I made a second one, and I don't know what I did, but I messed up the shell basically, but I should have triple stranded it, and I only doubled, so it's very soft. But the chicken that I made for it is really tiny. You know, they're easy to make, but I was just looking at somebody who made one. She made it with a starting chain. Normally you just made it with a circle. So I'm like, oh, I'll try it. And the yarn I was using, I think it's Feels Like Bliss, which feels like bliss, but it's an absolute pain to use. And it's really hard on the yarn, on the hand, because it's really slippery. So it's really hard to maintain tension and a hold on it. But anyway, I made one out of that, and actually the Soho Mystical, I held them together. So I don't know if you can tell, if it would focus. There you go. So that white you see here, that's the Soho Mystical in there, and then the Feels Like Bliss, and it really does feel like bliss. And then I used some gopher fur scrap that I had to do the crown, but I made it too small for this. It just sinks right in. It's really tiny. So what I decided to do was just make another one, and I had some scraps that I've been using, this the dots, and I just made another one, and I used some eyelash yarn that I have a bunch that I bought off of somewhere a while back, and I just have a bag of them. But I used some eyelash. I gave it a pink beak, and that way it fits more snugly in here. I can't believe I've been going on for like 16 minutes and I've only shown you a couple of things. But yeah, so now I have that instead of that little thing. So I might make a tiny egg for this one, but so that's a fix, I guess. And then Lisa, hi Lisa of Happy to Hook, she was showing, she's always showing yarns she tries off either Temu, or I haven't tried Temu yarn, I don't know if I will, but off Amazon. And I went, of course, as she's talking, and here I am typing into Amazon, and I think hers are from Temu, but they're on Amazon. It's very similar to what she's showing, and I really like the, it feels like it would be thin, but when you're working on it, it feels like a good number 6, not like a Bernat number 6, but a good number 6. So I used it to, I made something else with it, but this was what was left over. So I made a stingray, and this is a tutorial by, this is not the Teresa's Crochet Shop. I keep looking at my time to make sure I'm not late. There are a lot of similar tutorials on YouTube, and I decided let me just try a different one, because I've watched 2 others besides Teresa's before, and this person's, they, you know, it's basically it's the same process as Teresa's Crochet Shop, but she puts the eye up here instead of on this part, and then she crochets the tail into here. So just imagine the eyes are up here, and then this with the tail hanging low here. And I didn't know if I liked that, so I just decided to do it the Teresa's Crochet Shop way. And again, it's pretty much the exact same thing that's being done. So I did my eye a little wonky, but again, symmetry is, you know, it's not prevalent. So yeah. And I believe Teresa's tutorial does the tail after, but you can easily just crochet it as you go along, which is what I did. And then for the underside, I had a little bit of what did I use? Dollar Tree yarn, the Just Chenille in white, and I ran out, and you can't even tell, but the last, is it the last round? The last round going across, and then this part, because I ran out of this, it's just in the Posh yarn, and you can hardly tell the difference. So basically, it's, even though it's, I followed the tutorial by the other person, it's the exact same thing as Teresa's Crochet Shop. So I'm calling this the Teresa's Crochet Shop because I finished it her way instead of upside down like the person had. So that, and I like this yarn. I have to go back and try to figure out, it comes in, I think I bought a 5 or 6 pack, and they're not huge skeins, but I think if you total what's in there, I think it was like $9 and change for it. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look. If you total all the skeins, it's probably like buying a skein of Bernat blanket yarn, so pretty much the same. And you get different colorways to play with, so there's that. So I have this bag in my project bag. I'm not doing like the Pam thing where she keeps her projects in a separate bag, but I just had scraps in this, so I'm just, as I was finishing the small ones, I'm dropping them in here. The other small things, and then I'm gonna pause until later on, that I've been doing for my my $5 to $10 bins are, and these were very popular last year. I think I'm pretty sure I don't remember if I showed this. I think I remember talking about it, but I don't know if I showed them. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 of these so far. And I think I made all of them either in one sitting or over a couple of days. But I'm just gonna hold some of them up. This is the Pocket Frog. I think I had mentioned it because I wasn't sure if it was called a Little Frog or Pocket Frog, but it is a Pocket Frog by Lacromi. It is an Instagram pattern. I made these last year. They were very popular. But these, I was using scraps. It's a good scrap buster. But this is all the Posh yarn that I bought when the final closings were, the total closings was announced, I went in and bought, and now my store has like no posh whatsoever. So I'm glad I at least went and got it at, I think it was like 25% off. And at the time you could still use the coupon in the app. Those are all gone now. But, so, like I said, I have 13 of these. So this is the, I don't know what it's called, the colorway, but it's the bright neon-y almost pink with the, I think this is the lime glow or the warm glow. And then the green, which is bok choy. So there's that. And there's the brown. I can't remember if this is baby bear or teddy bear, and my battery's flashing. So good time to stop. But there's that. Let's hope it doesn't cut off on me. Again, scraps. I started with the bright pink and did a green. 3 more greens. 2 more bok choys. And then this one is some of the big baby bear yarn. And I just turned it into a swing. And then I had scraps from other projects of that, and I just used them and turned it into a swing. So before it cuts off on me, I am going to pause, go to my appointment, and later on I will keep recording. So quick scrap busting pocket frog by Lacromi on Instagram. All right, I'll be back later. All right, it's much later, and headache is still there. It's like surrounding the eye, but anyway, I have my yarn meetup group later, so, and Father Minion just got home, so you may hear a bit of life noise, but I'm going to try to do a little bit of recording. I am doing a little bit of recording before I have to go. So where did I leave off? I was showing you the pocket frogs, 2 of which I turned into swings. Oh, that one's not facing the right way. There you go. So I think I have like 13 of those altogether. The other thing that I made was, wow, I look tired, don't I? Anyway, the other thing that I made was a couple of dinos, and they came out bigger than I expected. No, than I thought they would, not than I expected. I had no expectations. And I was using partial skeins, and this is thankfully the yarn that I bought off of, I think this was the Mary Maxim, either Mary Maxim or Hirschner's. Oh, and I just picked up, was it today? Yesterday, I picked up yarn that I bought off Premier. I'm pretty sure I saw it from Lisa of Happy to Hook. Ugh, such an enabler with the yarn. I think she bought yarn in, they came in 2 packs. They were unlabeled. And of course, I was like, oh, let me go see, because I've been in a yarn buying mode for some reason. I was doing so well too. But it came, it's very soft to the feel, but when you're crocheting with it, it's very grabby. It doesn't have a silky, smooth flow. I made something out of it. Ooh, I'll show you in a bit. It came in 2 packs. I bought a pink, black, and white. I think those were the only colors they had available. So I bought them each. I don't remember what they cost. So for the seasonal yarny YouTube hop, I mentioned I wasn't going to do it, and I decided to do spring. And now, because I never know what I want to do for each one, and I'm always doing it last minute, this time I think I've decided to kind of carry on with my Make 9, where I used patterns that I either purchased or have wanted to make for a while that I haven't. I'm going to do that. So I'm going through my Etsy patterns, and I'm also using the seasonal yarny hop, YouTube hop, as kind of the impetus to make the things that I purchased. So having done that, this is from, hold on, this is from Kind Maker on Etsy, and if you feel this, that's me bumping the table because you're on a tripod on the table, so apologies. You can see Kind Maker. I bought a pack that had 4 no-sew dinosaurs. It had a Triceratops, which I haven't made yet, a Tyrannosaurus, a Stegosaurus, which I made, and one that just says a dinosaur. I forget what the I was going into my downloaded patterns to see what they were. Give me a second. Brontosaurus. It has a Brontosaurus in there. So I haven't made the Brontosaurus or the Stegosaurus, and I plan on making that, but I think I'm going to try to use thinner yarn to do it, because this was bigger size than I wanted. But this is the T-Rex, basically. Pretty easy enough, except I've been messaging the pattern writer, Kindmaker. This piece, there's a similar pattern, not similar, but there's a pattern that I got for free off Ribla, and I'm not a fan of the Ribla format. I like to have my patterns, and you can't download the patterns. So anyway, it was free, so I'm not complaining about that. It's just the format is not a favorite of mine. But anyway, I did not long ago, I did a rubber duck off there, and they had, the way they did the back was you had to chain, but the directions didn't make sense, and it was the same with this. So at a certain round, it said I'm supposed to have, so round 13 had 32 stitches around, and round 14 is supposed to have 44 stitches, which is the 13 plus the extra that you did for the tail. But the pattern says, and I don't think I'm giving anything away, but the pattern says you do the chain, which is very common in that type of shaping. You do the chain, and then you're going to work, it says you're going to work on both sides. But there's no way that you're working on both sides if you chain. If you chain up, you can only go down and then go around and then come back. And if you do that, then the end will now be here instead of here. So it says it's supposed to, the way it's written, it says 32, which is the same as the last row, and then you chain for the tail. Well, and then you work on both sides, but you can't work on both sides. If you do the 32, then you chain and work down, you're only working on one side. So I'm guessing that the other side, which is just the back end of the chain, is being counted as the stitch, but it does say 6 single crochets. So anyway, I've been going back and forth with her. She did a little video, but the video she sent was like after that row or round. She calls it rows, but after that round is what the video shows. So I went back and said, do you have it of that round? And from what there's no talking in the video, so yeah, so basically I fudged it and got what I needed, but from fudging it, because I didn't follow exactly what she wanted, it wasn't sitting, it was toppling over. And you kind of have to zhuzh it and do all that to get it. And it does sit, but after some playing around with it. So anyway, sorry about the table bouncing. I just put my elbow on it. But this is, I forget what the colorway of this is, but it's like sherbety oranges, gray, and yellow. So, and I use some of the dots that just never seems to go away. I still have a ball left of it, but I use that for the spikes. So not bad. I think I'll know what to do just watching her video and just going by what I think she wants if I do another one, but I'm going to do it with a little thinner yarn. So there's that T-Rex, and then the other one in the pattern, like I said, it was a 4-thing pattern. Father Minion. I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. Okay. Water, since Father Minion interrupted. You might hear his voice. Anyway. The Stegosaurus, I think. Yeah, because the others is the Triceratops. Yeah, so the Stegosaurus. And this is some of the duck loveys that I did. This is some of that yarn. This is the dark taupe, I believe. So, and apologies for the light on the other window. It's the end of the day, and you know, in and out. So they are pretty good sizes. Bigger than I wanted. Because, you know, I'm trying to do the smaller things, but it is what it is. And I'm using up yarn. I'm using up yarn. That's the good thing. I'm using up yarn. So, Stegosaurus. This one, I embroidered the eyes. If you will, there you go. Embroidered the eyes. And I gave this one just a regular safety eye. And I always put glue on the back. Right around the post when you push it through, right around the post, and then I put the backing on it, so there's glue on the between the post and between the backing and the yarn grabbing for extra security. And I use little things of E6000, Sometimes I had something else that I used, but anyway, and I've gotten a whole lot of, I think I was using crazy glue at one point, and I got a lot of crazy glue on my hand, which is not fun. But anyway, those are 2 from patterns that I purchased. So out of that pack, I have 2 others to do. The other thing that I did, if I can find it, I did a koala by, oh, who was that by? This pattern, or this pattern maker, does not have, it's off an Instagram, let's see, I don't know if I'll be able to find it real quickly, and I didn't take notes, but it's one of my saved Instagram patterns. And is it? No, I'm pretty sure it's Toy Story AU. I'll have to look, it'll take me too long to look, but no sew, pretty easy. You're supposed to surface on, like slip stitch on here on the surface, and then do a couple of rounds for this, and I did not do so well here. I was going to take some yarn and fix that, but again, I'm leaving it as is. And the ears I made a little too big because I did it differently than theirs. The pattern had you start with the inner color, and then the last row do the main color, but that would leave the back showing the inner color, and I didn't want that. I didn't want this to be on the back, so I did a small one here, and then I crocheted them together, and so it came out a little big. So a little big, and I'm contemplating like kind of tacking it down a little, but no, then you could do that. Peekaboo. Ooh, it could be a good kid's toy and do a peekaboo. So pretty sure it's Toy Story AU. I have a lot of her patterns, so I think her name is Antoinette. And it's Tony on her profile on Etsy. So obviously it's that gray. Actually the inner ear is a light gray, but this is Posh, and I just happen to have a small cake of this, whatever, this blue color, blueberry something I think color, but I figured it works. So there's that, and a couple more things. If you hear background noise, it's Father Minion being rude. This is another Instagram save that I have, and did I write down the monkey? Of course I didn't write down the monkey. Oh yes I did. It's called the Floppy Legged Maddie Monkey. Pretty easy, pretty simple. The legs are floppy because they're only stuffed at the bottom, so it's very wobbly. Do you crochet everything in as you go? Yep, everything as you go. Even the tail, it's done, you know, by chaining, so it's incorporated as you go. The only thing you have to sew on is the muzzle. Now in the picture the ears look more like this, and I was having a hard time following what they wanted, because after you make the ears you're supposed to fold it in half and do a couple stitches, and I was looking at the picture, and the picture it's wide like this. So why are they asking you to fold it? So I'm like, did they do the right thing? So I folded it, I did the 2 stitches, and you're supposed to pick it up as you're going along, and then I'm like, oh, it looks like that. But I think you're supposed to afterwards kind of open it up and tack it so it stays open like that. So tack here and here, tack it to the side. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to leave it like this. Less sewing, but I think it'll work like that. And then you just surface crochet on the hair, and I should just follow the pattern. I did not, and it's a little long. I think the middle one I added like an extra stitch or something, but it'll work. But yeah, so this is the yarn that I bought from, that was enabled by Lisa, that I bought off Premier Yarn, that came yesterday. It's very, very soft. It has almost like a the Michaels Home Slim feel to it. It's kind of like a cross between the Home Slim and blanket yarn. It kind of feels like the Home Slim, but when you crochet with it, or the new version of the blanket yarn, more of the Home Slim, but then when you crochet with it, it has like a very sticky, grippy feel to it, and it feels like it would be thin when you crochet with it, but it's not. It's very sturdy when you crochet with it. So if you don't mind the kind of sticky grabbiness, it's not bad. So yeah, and it's weird, in the free pattern it tells you to insert the eyes, but the picture only has the embroidered. So I figured this is perfect. It will just make it baby safe. So that worked out, and less things to have to do. But yeah, just the muzzle you really have to sew on. All right, so this I did last night because I came home from work and I was so dog tired. I wanted to go to sleep, but it wasn't working, so I crocheted this. I crocheted this last night, and I crocheted this. Is another free Instagram save, and it is called Fribbit by Crochet by Yell on Instagram. And in the picture, it's really tiny. Obviously, she probably uses like Dollar Tree size yarn type, because it fits in her hand. It's really small in her hands. And it doesn't have a smile. I like to put smiles on. But I pretty much crocheted it to what the pattern said. And I think next time I can actually crochet these in. You have to make these separately and sew them on. And I think next time I could actually pick them up as I go. Actually, can I? Yeah, because it's done top down. So I can just line them up and know where to put them in. So yeah, interesting way to do the hands, by the way. But it's free pattern, so go check it out. I even gave it the blush. So yeah, not bad. And this is more, I think, Mary Maxim clearance blanket yarn. Definitely the older formula. It's like that spongy, really thick. And I was using I think I was using a 4.5 millimeter hook. I think. Yeah. Is it 5.5? Maybe a 5.5. Or was it a 6? I have no idea. I did it at night. I think it was a 6. 5.5. Pretty sure the 5.5 millimeter hook, but it definitely comes out bigger. So this is probably about more than twice the size of what it looks like in the picture. So all these I did last night when insomnia hit. So not bad. All right, just a couple more, and then I'm going to postpone the rest until later. Oh, there it is. I thought I was missing one. That yarn I did the dinos out of. First I had done this. Ooh, did I just get, just touched my lip and I have brown lipstick on. Didn't get on. I did these loaf cats. These are, I follow a pattern for these? I don't think so. Did I? This one I didn't. I think I did this one just for the ears, because my ears never seem to come out the way I like it. I don't remember who I followed for this one. But I do pretty much do my own thing with the loaf cats. So yep, I use the just by, because I don't have any of the Annie Caraway patterns, but just looking at it, it's just a tube. So I use that. I kind of like to use that, but sometimes I just do the chain if you want a little different, especially for the smaller ones. Just do the chain. But yeah, and both have safety eyes. This one has pink glitter and just plain black. Those two. And then of course I've been seeing peeps all over the place, so I made two. What did I use? Baby Bear from Joanne Baby Bear, and I doubled it. Did I double it? This one's doubled, this one's single, so you can see the difference. So 5.5 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter, pretty sure, or 4 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter. I don't keep track of, unless I'm gonna put it on Ravelry, I rarely keep track of the hook size. So, and then embroidered eyes and black safety eyes. Is it black? Yeah, black safety eyes. So there you go. I've been meaning to make them, and then Shondell of Classy Handmade made them, and she just came out with a tutorial for her peeps as well. But I think this is Rose and Lily's tutorial that I used, because I've used it in the past. All right. I said last time I wanted to make another Ace the Alligator, and I didn't have, I didn't think I had enough the Michaels yarn. The first one I made, I had ran out, and I went and I got, I think there were 3 left at Michaels. One of them looked really beat up, and the consistency was different than the other 2. So I gotten one, and what I had left, I didn't think it would be enough for another Ace the Alligator, but I used a bigger hook size last time. So I went down to, I'll have to look on Ravelry. I don't have it saved. Anyway, I used a smaller hook size, so I had just enough yarn to make another Ace the Alligator. And again, I was reading some of the reviews, I think, and people were saying how it was, I forget what they said it was, but the only thing I found fiddly is doing the legs, because you leave, you create a hole and then you pick up stitches and do the legs afterwards. So with the whole body in the way, it's very fiddly to maneuver around it, but that's about it. Pretty easy. I did see where some people said you could just, you know, if you count, you can just do a bobble stitch for the nose, but after the nose is done afterwards, where you just whip stitch around to create the nostrils. So either way works, but he's just a little bigger, a little smaller than the last one that I made. But another Ace the Alligator in the agave colorway, and I hope they bring back the Home Slim, but better quality, because like I said, I went back to see what they had, and the one skein they had of this just looked really rough. Yeah, the texture wise was really rough. All right, last one before I go. I made, do I have them? Yep. 2 more of the Ditty decks. So this is the, oh, I don't have it close by. The spikes I did on the Tyrannosaurus Rex is this Dots yarn, which I still have a ball of. And this, Lisa of Happy to Hook. This is the yarn I think you got off Temu, that it's very similar to what's on Amazon. Yeah, I like it. I don't mind it at all. It's greens, variegated greens with this creamy color, beigey color. But yeah, Ditty decks. And what did I use for the wings? I think I used Baby Bear. I doubled it. So, and this one I used some Bernat with Dollar Tree yarn for the horns, and Premier Basic Chenille. Is it Chenille Basics? Chenille Basics or Basics Chenille, whatever it is, for that. So you can see the yarn is, the Bernat obviously is much thicker, and they're both number 6s. So 2 more. So I have 3 in total Ditty decks. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will do the rest either tomorrow or definitely not later tonight, because I'll be back late. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey, I'm back. It's the next day. It's Thursday. It is 6:02. I just got home maybe like 7 minutes ago, and there's still a little bit of light. I'm by the window still, and I figured I will get the rest of my makes shown so I can pack it away, because I'm looking at many bags. I see the benefit to having the multiples. That way, you know, when you're at the fair, you don't have to put everything out. But because I am so physically anti making a whole bunch of things of the same colors or hues, I need that color and variety in my life. So I need to figure out a way to deal with it. But anyway, all this to say hi. How are you? How has your day been? I have backache. I had a headache yesterday. It was really bad. Now I have a backache. So it's like this whole aging thing. Not a fan. I don't mind the number. Overall, I don't mind the gray hairs except in the front. Doesn't do anything for me. There's gray hairs, you can see, sprinkled all in here. I don't mind that, but in the front, no. My vanity showing. But the aches and the creaks, and I can live without that. Okay. By the way, if you're new, did I mention that already? If you're new, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this episode. Or at least this clip of this episode. All right, where are we? As usual, I don't remember all the makers or the pattern designers or the tutorial makers of all of these. Most of them I do. But they will be linked below in a link to a Google Doc with all the patterns, hopefully. So speaking of multiples, I am making multiples of the small things, but still not all the same colors. So I'd mentioned before, was it right before or right when the full closure of Joanne was announced, I went and I purchased a lot of the Posh colors that I didn't already have, and a couple that I already had I restocked. So I needed a certain color I was going to use, and I decided I have so much yarn up here, and especially now that I am more into the chenilles. I used to be buying, I used to be in the mode of all acrylic, not purposely, it's just what I gravitated to, especially if it was on sale or clearance. But the last few years I've been more heavily into the amigurumi and the chenille yarns because it's quick, and I'm an instant gratification kind of person. I need it to be done. I like trying new things, new techniques or what have you, but I also want it done. So I'm not just a process creator, I am a product. I need it done. I need to see the end result. So I have all the Posh yarn. I hope that's where I was going. My mind tends to just wander sometimes. So I went to get a particular color. Oh, I was saying that I have them in my basement, in bags and bins and stuff. And I need a particular color, and I don't keep it up here because here's my brain going all over again. I don't keep it up here because I don't have room. I'm trying to use up my acrylic stash so I can put all this chenille stuff in its place, but it's slow going on that. Especially since I've slowed down on the shawl making because of the fall craft fair and the amigurumi. So I went to get the Posh that I needed, and then I decided to, instead of taking onesie twosie skeins, I had it in a bin with some other blanket yarn. So I brought that bag, not a bin, up with me. Wow, I'm really all over the place. And so I decided that I would do small cakes of each of the colors. So I'll have them there instead of going up and down getting what I need. So I did a cake that I could keep on or near my desk, and then I decided, oh, I'll just finish off the cake, and I put it in my my bookcase or my cubbies where I housed it. So right now my desk has all the blues and most of the green hues, small cakes on my desk. So what I did after, God, 5 minutes of me prattling, what I did, I'll hold them my color. One of them I'm missing, and I need to make sure that I didn't, what did I do with it? I'll have to check my photo that I took. Hang on, okay. So I went back and looked at the photo I took of these, which are stingrays, to see, because I was trying to make sure I made at least 3 out of each color. And this one I kept afterwards going, where's that third one? I thought I made 3. I did not. I made 2 out of this particular color. But anyway, this one, this is the Chez du Cotton on Instagram. This is her stingray. Pretty sure it's a she. Yeah, stingray pattern, which I absolutely adore. Fell in love with it last year, I think, when I first found it, and I love making it. It's a great scrap buster. You can mix and match colors, mix and match scraps, blah blah blah. It's a great, I love it. And it's a, you know, small price point item that you can quickly make. So the color is it's more of this. It's a royal blue, cobalt bluish color. But the light is, it's more like this, and right now it's blown out like a light blue here, but it's more this color. So yeah, let's see, can I see it? Nope, it's still showing the wrong color. But, oh, I think that's a little better even though it's not focusing. But anyway, this is it, since it's not focusing. One day I will figure out what I need to do to get things to focus the first time. But so 3 of the blues, they all have white. I used all Posh on these. Then I have this, I don't remember the colors, by the way, colorways. This is a Tiffany-ish blue color, even though it's not quite showing up because of the lighting. Nope. Yeah, it's right there. That's more the color. So the light's definitely blowing it out. So 3 of those, white on the bottom. This is the one I thought I made 3 out of, and turns out I only made 2, so I have to go and make another one. So this is more of a seafoam green color. Let's see, come on, why are you not focusing today? Too much light, I guess, by the window. There you go. The light's still blowing it out. So it's more of a seafoam green. 2 of those. And then I'm pretty sure I was moving on to the other blues. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I think those are the blues that I have. Blues / greens. Bluish greens. And then definitely blowing out with the light. Oh, this is... That's more like it right there. And this is, I think, the neon strawberry, whatever it's called. It's the really bright neon-y pink color. And then the last one I showed the yarn that I bought off Amazon, which is, I think, the same as the Temu yarn that Lisa is buying. And I made one of the Didi decks out of it. And I also showed a regular stingray, the Teresa's Crochet Shop style that I made out of it. And I also had a little bit left, so I made this out of it. So this is a bit bigger than these. Pretty sure I used either 4 or 4.5 millimeter hook for this one, for the Posh, and either 4 and I think 4, and for this I think, pretty sure I used a 4.5. Either 4.5 or 5.5, but I think it was a 4.5. So now I probably have, let's see, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably upwards of 20 of these. So I think I'm good there. All right, the next thing I made, I bought this. I forget who I was watching, and they were showing this bee, and I've made bees. I follow patterns. I've also just winged it and made my own thing. They sell, but off and on, not like I go and they're all gone. So it takes a while before they go, and you never know at which craft fair they're going to sell. But I was watching somebody who said they were kind of over the regular, you know, low-fee kind of bees, and they wanted something different, and they showed this pattern. Yeah, my price tag was showing, and I apologize. Let's see. Oh, that's better. A little filter. So this one is by Kind Maker. Hang on. So this bee is by Shield Maiden, and I forget who I have. The first thing I bought by her was an owl that it's made in white, and a lot of people, when they see it, they think it's Hedwig from Harry Potter. And I'm not sure if that was the intent, but it's just an owl, a chubby owl. And I've made it out of numerous types of yarn. The last group I made, I was trying to use up some pipsqueak type yarn, so I paired that with just other types of yarn that I had. But anyway, that's the first pattern I bought from her. Her patterns are very low priced. So if you want to, there's something you want to try, I could highly recommend her patterns, and they're not like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but there's no fluff in it. It's just like a couple of pages down to the gist of what you need to do. I think it was Hooked, but no, what is her name? What's her channel name? I forget. But oh gosh, what was I saying? I completely forgot. Oh, the person I was watching, I don't remember who it was. She didn't like the wings, and I can't say I'm a fan of the wings, or if I was to do that style, I would kind of rejigger it or rejig it to basically do something else. But anyway, the body is obviously one piece. You have to do 2 things for the wing. Actually, no, you have to do 4 pieces for the wings. So that's the first thing I was thinking. I would have to figure out how to make it just 2 solid pieces instead of 4 that you have to sew together. And I don't remember, did I? Yeah, I did the 4, but then I sewed 2 of them together before I sewed the 2 big pieces together. Anyway, I'm going on and on. I agree that I'm not a fan of the wings, or I might make it a little smaller or use a more structured yarn. I don't like that. But it's a different shape than just the you know, the little tube kind of thing. You've got the head, and then there's some shaping for the body. So there's another one that I saw, I can't remember what it is, and I was tempted to buy it. I just bought another pattern today, even though I said I wasn't buying pattern, but it was like $1.66. I was watching somebody do a vlog, and they were doing a cable and canvas. It was one of the pop things, and it's cute, and I think it would be perfect for spring. It's a little pot with a cactus on it, so I bought it. It was $1.66. It was on sale. But that's the bee, and I've got lots of fluff everywhere still, so I need to do the roller on it. I didn't do that because my roller, the stick part of it doesn't stay in the roller part, so it keeps falling off. I need to go get a new one. But yeah, you do have to make the legs and then sew them together. These 3 bits are made out of 1 piece, so I think I can easily, you know, attach on, chain, go back down, do it that way instead of making it separate and then sewing it on. So you have to do that twice. And then I gave it some light orange or gold, which matches pretty nicely with that. I did not have yellow at the time, or at least not near me. I know I have a skein, some type of yellow down in all my yarn in the basement, but this is all, no, the black is Bernat blanket, I'm pretty sure, but this rusty color is the Premier Basic Chenille. So, long spiel on the bee, but I do like it. I like the shape. It's different than the typical bees you see, so I think it's a good size. It's a good size. So if you want it smaller, you definitely need like a number 5 weight yarn to do it, to get it smaller. So there's that. The other thing that I made was a loaf cat, still blowing out, but this is the Flecky Tweedy Bernat blanket yarn. I've had this skein there for quite a while. I used to make chickens out of it. Like I said, chickens are kind of so unless I find something different, I'm not really making the Mabel chicken so much anymore. You never know, it may start back again, but who knows. I'm just giving it a break for now. But this is Annie Caraway Arts. She's a tutorial on, I think hers was a German Shepherd with color changes, and I am loath to do color changes because for some reason my brain always want to tighten everything, so when I do color changes I always mess up. I haven't learned to relax when I do that, so yep. And then I'm finally getting to use my my safety noses that I've had. These have the metal backs to them, so I definitely put a lot of glue on the back to make sure, because if you squeeze here you can definitely feel the metal, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I think for this one I also put a little glue underneath the front of this, and then there's glue on the back before I put the metal piece on. So yeah, it's good size. Good size. I'm trying to make the smaller ones, you know, again, lower price points, but you do need like a big one to kind of be a focal point. So that's that. Oops, and I'm shaking things because I'm moving things around on the table. So loaf dog, and I did show the one that I kind of made based off of another dog that I followed a tutorial for. I kind of turned it into a loaf dog. All right. I think for now, the last things that I have, I am still working on the M&Echo cat because I had a headache yesterday. I did not get very far. And I got all the pieces made except for the head and body, which I started the head. I had the ears, the nose, all the limbs done. And something fell when we were there, and I thought I picked it up, but the ears must have fallen too, because last night when I came home, I went looking for all the pieces to put them all in one place, and I couldn't find the ears. And for some reason, that's the part that I despise making. Well, not for some reason, I know why, because it starts with a 4 single crochet in the magic loop, and I hate starting projects with four or less single crochets. It's a no for me. But some, like I said, some things you just have to. So for the ears, yeah, so that's that. I need to remake the ears basically, and I've already started on head, so hopefully this weekend, well, for this weekend, I should finish the M&Echo. All right, the next thing the last one for today, and I'm going to try to, holy cow, hold on. Sorry again if I shake. So I've had, and I still haven't looked to see if it's the same pattern, but this next thing is by Skein Spider on YouTube. She's Australian, I think Australian or New Zealand. I think she's Australian. But I've had this chameleon saved on Instagram for a while, and I still haven't made it. So, and again, I don't know if it's the same person. I never really paid attention to, or I don't remember who it was when I saved it. But anyway, I don't know what I was watching or doing at the time, but it popped up, this was last week, as a recommendation on my feed on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what? I was just looking at green chenille yarn, and I had just finished my spring hop project, and I still had some of the neon greens and yellows left, so it's completely blown out again. Oh, there you go. That's better. So I had some leftover Bernat blanket yarn, so I used it to make this big one, and this is like feels like the older formula. It's much tougher and stiffer, because here it's supposed to look a little rounder, and you'll see the difference with the other two, but I don't know, the stuffing or whatever, it just wasn't stretching, but it still looks fine. I love, you know, the turning of the tail and stitching it on. She did say that you can either, if you want it to be posable, you can put I guess either floral wire or whatever, that fuzzy wiry stick, I forget what it is, pipe cleaner in there. But I'm always loath to use those because, you know, the ends always poke out, and I don't know, I don't feel comfortable with that, because especially if it goes to a kid, they're gonna manhandle things, and I would really hate for the end to somehow stick out. So I tend not to use that type of stuff. So I just did the curling and tacking it, and I think it looks awesome that way, and they can easily carry it like that. So I almost want to make a couple more, but I want to see how these are received first before. So and because of this being thicker and, you know, more rigid, it's a little pointier than it should be, so kind of gives it variety too. So, and just, they all have just plain black eyes on them. This one I didn't do any highlighting to the eyes, I just left it as is. And then this one, you could see the roundness of that, this is how it's supposed to look, whereas this one is just long, and I think it's more the yarn has to do it. But yeah, this still came out just a little pointy. Again, the type of yarn, I guess, and my tension, but this one I gave a little eye detail. But this is Bernat blanket. This is Home Slim, what was left over from making Ace the Alligator. I didn't think that I'd have enough to make Ace the Alligator, but I had gone down a hook size, so it came out a little smaller than the first one, and then I still had enough yarn to make this, and I still had a little bit extra. Actually, I have a little ball still in my scraps of this, so I might end up making either a whale or a couple of these out of it. But so cute. And then the last one, because I had just finished making my gnomes for the spring hop, I just pull this out. Let's see if I can. Nope, it's not going to. But it is neon-y, and there you go. There you go. That's what it is. So yeah, that's the shape, and you can see that it's not as pointy as this and the first one. But yeah, all no-sew. You can't beat that. You get a whole chameleon, a whole thing, all no-sew. I wasn't paying attention to timing, so shut off on me. But anyway, the only thing you have to sew is tacking this down, which is awesome. You know, and weaving in ends, obviously, but yep, so you can't go wrong. Highly recommend Skein Spider on YouTube. Yep. So that is where I am right now with stuff that's finished. Did I add these? I have chameleon. Yep, I've added this to my inventory already. Do I have a bee? It says I have 2 bees. I have more than 2 bees. Nope. 5. I have 2 lines for bees. I have 5 at one price and 1 at another price. So yeah, I've already added this to my inventory. So, ooh, have I added this one? This was new. I'm pretty sure I have. I'll have to check, but I'm trying to keep up with my inventory sheet of what I have, and not everything is in my Zettel inventory. I'm still debating that, whether or not what I have in there are things that I tend to make over and over again. So there's quite a bit in there, you know, like the loaf cats, the owls, the dragons, the ducks, and things like that, and frogs. Those are things that I remake, so those are in there. But the one-off things, I'm contemplating, do I just put it in there? Whether or not I do a cash or card sale, I always put it into the square, unless I forget, if it gets busy and I forget. So I will have a tracking of it as far as sales made, but as far as keeping track of what I have on hand at any given time, I need to find a system. I bought a scanning gun, but that's not for here. I'm not at the point where I'm creating codes, SKUs, and doing all that yet. At some point I will be, but I want to do an inventory of my yarn. I did it last year, and I have it in a spreadsheet, but it was just what I had at the time. But I've used up a lot of stuff, and I haven't accounted for that use in my spreadsheet. So for everything that I have that has a barcode on it, I want to scan it and keep it in some kind of inventory system, which I need to go find one that I can download. And then when I use it, then I can scan and, you know, take it off, kind of thing. That's the goal for hopefully by the end of the summer. We shall see. Because come June, I start my fall wearables type inventory. Hats, my cowls, my shawls and stuff. That's when I start doing that. Because amigurumi I do anytime, all the time, whenever. So on that note, not sure if I will do another clip before. I keep looking over there because that's where all the bags of stuff is. Not sure I'll do another clip before I release another episode, but you'll know if there's anything else after that. So on that note, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey, it's Laurel again, Laurel with the Dabbling Hook, and today is the 28th, and it's after 7, a little after 7 in the evening. Hope you guys had a better week than I did. You're gonna hear a lot of life noises. Father Minion's actually making a cake for a birthday for tomorrow. So, real quick, hopefully this one should be short. I forgot to show a turtle that I made. This is the Dots yarn that is never ending. I've used it in so many projects. Actually, I thought it was one skein, but it's not. I actually had 2, so it's the big Bernat blanket skeins. And I had 2, and this is the second skein, and it just keeps going. It's the gift that keeps giving. So, turtle. This is just, I guess, a combination of all the tutorials and turtle patterns out there, but I basically do my own thing, my own sizing, blah, blah, blah. I even have a little chart of if I make a smaller turtle and it's only, 18 stitches around, like where I'm gonna place the fins. So I have it mapped out for 18, 24, 30, and 36 stitches, depending on what size. That way I don't always have to try to remember. So I mapped it out, I think, in Excel, and then I screen grabbed that, and I have it saved just as in my photos. So I can always refer back to it. So I apologize for the background noise because I'm sure it's going to get picked up. But, oh, and you're seeing behind me where, behind me is a dresser drawer where I put stuff when I'm working on it. And then over there is my sewing table, which hasn't seen much action since early February when I made something for Minion 3, which is Minion 1's girlfriend. When I made something for her. That was the last time I sewed. And then what you see on there are yarn cakes that I bought off of Hirschner's, I think. So they're there. I showed it in a previous video. Anyway, and then some Posh yarn that I was caking up to use on things. So anyway, all that to say, you're seeing behind me, it's late, so I'm not gonna set things up to do this. But so turtle I forgot to show you. And then last night I was watching, I don't know, it's not somebody I subscribed to, but it was a recommendation, and I watched it. And she made ice cream cones. So I just made my own. I'm like, oh. So I just got my yarn and I made my own. And I actually wrote down the steps so I can replicate it, because I sent a picture to Minion 1 and Minion 3, and he immediately said, can I have it? I'm like, no. So I need to make a couple more before I decide if I want to give it to him. He wants one that's more cookie and cream. So I gotta go get my vanilla colored yarn off. What is it? Like an off-white creamy colored yarn, and see what I can do. But ice cream cone. The eyes I put a little too high. I think I'm gonna go down a stitch next time. But it's safety eyes that sorry, the light, it's very blown out because my desk light, which has the cool feature on there, is completely blowing things out. But oh, there you go. It's a safety eye that I just put the highlight around it and gave it little eyelashes. So I want the mouth to be a little more rounded instead of the V. But and this yarn, oh, this is the yarn. Oh, I don't have it. I put it away. I put most of it away. Did I? Hold up. This is the yarn that Lisa of Happy to Hook, she enabled me. Oh, and it's attached to a current project I'm working on. But this is the yarn. It comes in packs of 2. It feels very almost velvety. It's really, really squishy soft, but when you work with it, it's very sturdy. It's not as you would, based on how soft it feels, you would think that it would work up thin, but it doesn't. It works up like a good number 6. Light to medium number 6, I guess, but yeah, it's very sturdy. So while it sticks on the yarn, it doesn't smoothly flow. I like what it does. So I forget what was I making. I think I was making a cow. So I have the arms done. This is the second leg because it's the ones with the legs joined. So this is Parfait Chunky at the bottom, and he is making heck. I never noticed he makes so much noise when he bakes before, but oh well, life noises. And then the pink, so they complement each other. I'm using a 5.5mm hook, so oops, extra string. Like I said, 2 packs. I got pink, black, and what's the third color? White, I think. So I'm good. And I was watching Lisa again, and then she had just gotten her shipment in, and of course she was talking about this. I went and look again, and I'm like, you don't need it. They only have blue left. When I ordered, they had, I don't know if they had blue, or if they had blue, I didn't need it at the time. So I got those 3 colors, but right now it's just the blue that's left. So working on that. And then there was one other thing, but I don't know where it is. I don't know, but the other thing I finished is another just knitted beanie with my very deep stash of Woolies Tonal, which is a number 5. And I had a little bit of black left. That's the back where I joined. A little bit of black left. And then this blue. What did I end up? I think I ended up with like a little bit left of the blue. But I did the black, and before I finished the black, I just did a little bit of striping. So if they want to wear it slouchy, you have this effect. And if it's rolled up, then you just get a peek at it, depending on how big the brim will be. But yeah. So that's that. Out of this, looking over there because I have the pile. Hang on. I am just doing 2x2, no, 1x1 ribbing. So I've made a few out of the stash that I have. This was, I'd shown this before, this was my stash of wool spun, deep stash, so it's all gone. This is all I had left. And then I am going through my, I wonder how loud that's coming through. Oh well. My stash of Woolies Tonal. I thought I had a different one too, but so far I think I have one other colorway somewhere in there that I need to start another one. So this is going obviously in the fall, but yeah, I just finished this one. So I actually had this finished, and the way I was doing the decreases, which was slip, slip, loud, slip, slip, then knit 2 through the back loop, I think. But now I don't use DPNs. I use the 16mm, is it the 60mm? The hat size, yeah, circumference. And I just use it all the way through. I don't change the DPNs. Sometimes it depends on which one I'm using. It stretches it a bit, but I don't like switching to DPN. So, but the decreases that I was using, I didn't like. So I was actually able to go back, and I may have to re-record this, or maybe I won't, but the decreases look so bad that I was like, I think like up to here being finished, and I decided no, I didn't like it. So I pulled the needles out, and at one point that would have freaked me out and I would have been done with it, but I pulled it out and I was able to go in and pick up stitches below where, like 2 rows below where I started the decreases, and I was able to put it all back on the needles and do the whole regular decrease again, just knit 2 together. Yeah, the first time I picked up the stitches, I was only picking up the knit stitches because I did a 1x1, so knit purl. I didn't realize I was only picking up the knit stitches, so when I undid it, there was this loop hanging. I'm like, what the heck? And I realized, oh, the pearls I never picked up, so I had to go back again and do it. But I was quite proud of myself that, you know, now it doesn't completely terrify me. Unless I'm doing a pattern I'm completely unfamiliar with, if I drop a stitch, you know, I might panic a little. But now I just go, oh, darn, and then I just go ahead and pick up stitches. So I was able to save it and redo it. So that's that. I am going to make another one of these. And what else? I swear there was something else that I was doing, but who knows. I'm gonna make another one of these to see if what I wrote down makes sense, and if it does, give it to, oh, actually I might make him a smaller one. I have some Just Chenille here in Oyster, which is a colorway I've never seen at the Dollar Tree before. I just got this a few days ago, which I shouldn't have, but anyway, we're not talking about that. So I got Oyster color. They've never had that before, so I picked up one, maybe two, I think one. So maybe I'll make his out of that. I'll double it and we'll go from there. All right, I'll see you in the next clip if there's a next clip. All right, bye. Okay, I'm back again real soon. I forgot, I did finish the cat hat that I was doing. When you saw it in the last video. Was it the last video or the last clip? The last video. Anyway, finished the cat hat, but it's a little too big because I measured this mannequin's head and I think it was almost 22 inches, or is it 21 and a half? And this is very loose on the head and there's no hair, it's just a wig cap. So definitely a little too big, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna leave it as is, and I will just move on to the next and go down a hook size maybe. Yeah, we'll see. But this is a little big, but it came out. Cat hat. All right, now I'm gone. Bye.
Hi, hello. This is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. And no, you don't need to adjust your listening device or viewing device. I do sound this bad. I have been horribly sick all last week. I thought I had the C, and it wasn't. I did lose my sense of smell for a day and a half, so I guess it's just leftover long haul symptoms that are now going to be a thing of my life. But it hit me pretty hard, this cold, cough, whatever it is. So if I look tired, I am. Even though I've been intermittently sleeping, I'm just exhausted, and I am doing this video for a couple reasons. One, to prep me for going back into the office next week, because if there looks to be a lot of stops and starts, it's because I'm probably off coughing somewhere. But it's the tail end of it, but the cough is lingering pretty strongly, and so is the stuffiness. And the other reason is just to exercise my voice, just to see if I could talk for a little while without, you know, devolving into a coughing fit. It's Saturday, by the way. The whatever the date is, the hold on, phone. April 5th. It's 43 degrees. It is 3:01. This is my second attempt at recording this. As soon as I set up, Minion 2 decided he needed to go shower and is making all kinds of clattering noises. So it is Alfred Hitchcock level gray out. It's raining. It's chilly. I went out for the first time today to get my nails done because what was on there was about to fall off. And again, to see if I can be out of the house for any length of time, and that was pushing it for an hour and a half. But I'm having wine, even though I shouldn't, while I'm still sick, but I'm so sick and tired of being sick. I've become the grumpiest old person, and I'm not that old, but I'm old person ever. I'm so sick of it. So I've got wine, mixture of Merlot and White Zinfandel, two of my favorites because I'm basic like that. But I also have a cup of tea in my mug. Oh, I think I've shown this before, but this is my pseudo motto, even though it's not focusing. It says, I speak yarn. Yes, I do. So I'm going back and forth between tea and wine. I'm hoping the wine, once I'm done with this, if I make it through, that it will knock me out again, because I just want to lie down. So anyway, after all of that, if you are new here, thank you for visiting. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this episode. And to all you OGs, cheers on the tea too, but cheers. It feels so foreign in my mouth. I haven't had a glass of wine in ages. So hopefully I'm able to get through this. If you see me start shrinking, that's energy level going. So I've gone through a whole, you know, little travel size thing of hand sanitizer in the last few days, because while I'm sick, sleep has been a precious commodity, and while I can't sleep, I crochet with hand sanitizer, of course. So so this is, I think, from the last clip. I don't remember where I left off. I'll find out when I'm editing, but things I've made since the last clip in no particular order. So there are two things I made because I was watching some random video that popped up. You know, when you're watching stuff and it's done, at the end there's always like suggestions of videos to watch. And this person, I have no idea who it was, and I don't know if I'd be able to find it because I've had videos on repeat while I can't sleep. So not on repeat, but constant, just watching whatever. But this person made two things. They made donuts, and it's funny. I guess it's because there's so many new crocheters every day. Not just new, but like freaking fantastic people who, you know, they haven't been crocheting long. They're already doing markets. Some of them are doing patterns and stuff. So, you know, thank God, you know, kudos to them, and thank God the craft keeps it's going and new people are falling into it and finding the love of crochet that we all know that exists. So, but anyway, this person made donuts, and they made ice cream cones. Ice cream cones, I think I may have made like once before, but donuts I used to make pretty regularly, you know, a while back. It's been a while. Because I used to make them on repeat, not a lot, but on repeat. And then as you discover new patterns, you know, everything just catches your eye. So you just keep making newer stuff. But anyway, I'm like, oh, I feel like making a donut. So, and it'd been a while since I made it, so I don't remember. Because the ones I remember that I made, I had memorized whose ever pattern and I adjusted it, as we're wont to do, to fit my needs. But I had to go look them up, and of course Rose and Lily popped up. And for those that I made, I used Posh yarn, so they came out quite sizable. Well, I shouldn't say quite sizable, because back in the day when I made all this stuff, it was practically mainly acrylic yarn. And the pauses are to catch my breath, so don't mind that. What was I saying? And my memory is just so shot too. Anyway, Rose and Lily, she had a tutorial, and I made it in Posh. And again, I'm by the window and the glare, so it's a little better. Oh, there you go. So this is Posh in, I think this is the croissant color, and I have no idea what this blue is called. This is when I went to buy all the colors I didn't have, and I picked up colors, and I don't remember what this colorway was. So, but it's a light blue color. There you go. So as you can see, my hands, and I've got big hands, so like I really have man hands. I have big hands. It's a pretty big size. So hers is, what did she do? She does them in 2 separate pieces, and if I can do anything with as little sewing as possible, then that's the way to go for me. While I'm getting better at sewing things together, even using the stick pins and whatever, when I'm done, something's always askew. And while it gives it character, sometimes that's not what you want. You know, you want it to come out the way you think it should. But anyway, So that's hers, pretty big. I didn't want it to be this big, but options. So I found another tutorial. There are plenty of tutorials, by the way, on YouTube. This was by, I think, Little Crochet Farm. By the way, all the stuff I show, do I remember who they are? Probably 99% no, I don't. But there will be a link to the document with who they are. Because a lot of them I winged. Some things are I purchased. Some things are free from Instagram, so, and free from other places. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure this was Little Crochet Farm, and hers is done almost the same way, you know, just kind of like the turtles, where everyone has their little tweaks on how they do certain things, but the general gist of the pattern is the same. But she did hers, so Rose and Lily did each piece separately, and then we stitched. She did the bottom piece first, and then she ended with a slip stitch of the top color cut off, and then she went back to the middle part and attached there, which in my brain while I was doing Rose and Lily, I'm like, there has to be a way. I wonder if I can, and lo and behold, you can. So she attached here, and then she creates the outer, attach and create the outer piece. So again, Posh in the, it's whatever that neon green color, I don't remember the colorway, and it's not showing up. It's definitely blown out on camera. This is a little better, but the sprinkles on here are, hello, there you go. The sprinkles on here are, it's different things. Some of it is worsted weight. This is a Red Heart yarn that's multicolor, and this is just chenille, the Dollar Tree chenille with, in I think amethyst or whatever, light purple color. But as you can see, same hook size, different, did I stop short? I don't remember if it was the same size. Maybe hers was one increase less, I think. Obviously, but it's smaller, obviously. But it was done technique-wise a little differently, where you're not doing the two separate pieces. So then you only have to do, close the, you know, the edges. And she closes it with slip stitches. Rose and Lily does whip stitching. Either way is okay. I prefer, I think, the look of the Rose and Lily whip stitch over, oops, over that. Oh, that's where it joined, over here. This is a little on the thick side for me, but I prefer the Rose and Lily whip stitch, so I may do that. And this looks like it has 3 rows of, what are you focusing on? It has a thicker area on the slip stitch, because she did a slip stitch on this part with the top color first, so it makes it a little thick in the middle. And yeah, so anyway, I did 2. This is Strawberry Glow or Strawberry something. It's a neon strawberry color. So chocolate basically, and the regular glaze kind of look. So I figured I wanted to make a couple more, but at the time I was over it, so there's that. So 3 donuts. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say thank you for all you guys who keep watching. I know I'm not here often, and so I would like to get my viewer ship up, or video viewing up, but whatever. But for you guys who do watch, I do want to say thank you, but to 3 people in general. My brain is not on 3 people in particular is what I meant to say. One is Miss Allie of Little Drops of Wonderful. She let me know, and a friend of mine let me know that Allie, I was keeping Allie company. She was catching up with my longer videos, so thank you for watching. I appreciate that. The other is Carrie. Hey, Carrie. you know who you are. Thanks for watching. And then the other one is somebody new I put onto my videos and possibly crochet, Keisha. So when you see this, you'll know. But anyway, that's that. So that was one of the things I saw on this person's video. The other thing, ice cream cones. Did I show before? I don't know if I showed in the last video. If I didn't, I made 2 others that looked similar to this, but they were with just Bernat blanket. This is the Loops and Threads plush speckle or whatever, fluffy speckle. It's a pretty sturdy feel to it. Basically has a Bernat blanket feel with speckles already in it, so it's perfect for ice cream cones or maybe cupcakes where you're gonna put sprinkles on. It's already in there, so you don't have to worry about, see that? You don't have to worry about, you know, putting on the sprinkles and pulling out all the stuffing and all that. So I have an orange color in this that I need to make at least one more. And then this is the Posh. So obviously you can see it's a little smaller with the Posh. So yeah, this, I actually wrote down my steps so I can try to replicate and not try to remember what I did. But yep, these are my own. Because I just saw what she did in the video. I don't know if there was a pattern. I didn't go look, and I'm like, oh, I can create an ice cream cone. Pretty simple. So there's my ice cream. I did make the other 2 I made. Minion 1 was home a week ago. I don't remember. A couple weeks ago now, and I had sent him and Minion 3, the girlfriend, a picture of it, and as soon as, you know, he saw the picture, he's like, can I have it? And then when he came home, I had made another one, so I sent, he took that one, and then I sent one for Minion 3, so the other 2 that I made have homes already. So there's that. I want to make in the Posh at least a couple different colors, and then do one in the orange of that I have, this fluffy fleck or whatever it is from Loops and Thread. The other thing I made, this is I know it's an Instagram pattern. I think I have it saved, but this is only the 3rd Totoro that I've ever made. Made it in Posh. The eyes I put in a little too wide. It called for felt, and I don't like using felt. I don't know why, I just don't. But I put it a little too far. So I did try to tack it a little more on this side so it'll show more, but yeah, Totoro. It is all, the body is all one piece, but you do have to make the tail and the ears and sew those on. So I just made one. I may make another one. But yeah, one Totoro. I'm trying all the things that I save, like we all do. I have so many things saved on Pinterest, on Ravelry, in my own library that I don't make. And there's gonna be noise because Father Minion is coming in. So I may have to pause. All right, the other thing I made, and I'm going to pause while he comes in, and I'll be back. Okay, sorry. That was Father Minion being an idiot. Sorry, not an idiot. Making me laugh, how's that? when he shouldn't be making me laugh. Anyway, I have purchased, I think I have at least 3 or 4 different cow patterns I purchased, and I think I made 2. I have Madeline May Co. I know I have Toy Story AU, so maybe 3. I don't know, but I know I've made both Madeline May Co. Toy Story AU. I know I have at least another one that I haven't made. But anyway, this one was a free pattern. I want to say maybe there's a tutorial. If it is, it'll be linked, but yeah, just the ubiquitous standing cow. I put the ears in the wrong place. It just looks weird. But yeah, that's not helping. Oh, actually. Oh, did that help? A little bit. Anyway, so yeah, That's that. The ear should be a little lower. It's just, it looks weird. But yeah, this is the, this is the, on sale yarn I bought, I think, either Premier or Hirschner's. Lisa, happy to have bought it too. It was unbound, there's no band on it, and it came two in a pack. So that was a pink. I think I have half of a skein left of the pink, but I made this cow. And this is a, and sorry again, me bumping the table. This is a free little squishy pig from Lilith something. I'm on her ages ago. I must have signed up for her newsletter. So most of her patterns are for sale, but she came out with this. She came out with this little free squishy pig, and you do have to sew on the muzzle and the ears. So yeah, quick, easy. I had the pink yarn and I just needed to use it. This, I'm not going to, hang on. Okay, so this is a low self squirrel by Avery Crafts a lot on Etsy, and you probably have seen this on Robin. I don't know why I can never think of her channel while I'm recording. But anyway, I know she's done it and somebody else has done it. But it is, I ran to get this because I just thought, and squirrels are a complete pest around here, but those and chipmunks are worse. But anyway, it was just so adorable that I ran and got the pattern. Plus it was on sale, like $2 something it was on sale. So, yeah, I got it. You do the tail and then the whole body is in one, the ears are surfaced on, and then you tack the tail. Because the tail is crocheted in, but you just have to tack it to have it stay that way. So pretty easy. And I'm like, oh, I was doing all this stuff in Posh, and I'm like, I saw my red Posh, which I have not used yet. This is the first time. I'm like, ooh, red squirrel. So I'm gonna do one in black. So you get usually regular red squirrel and a black squirrel. But yeah, this the Posh one. This is the good Posh. I have some Posh here that there was something off with it. The texture's off. It's thicker than some of the others. It looks terry clothy, blanket yarn like, instead of the smoothness of the normal Posh. So anyway, so yeah, this one has sparkly eyes that I painted. Now this is I think a 16mm one, and it is a pain doing the smaller eyes, painting them. So again, kudos to the people who paint eyes. I did just order some, but yeah, it's browns, and then the back has it's 2 different shades of brown glitter, or a gold, a brown glitter, and then the back has like an orangey rust color mica powder to make the glitter pop. But I quite like it, and it's those offset eyes, but I can see why the people who sell the hand painted eyes, it's mostly like the 18 or even 20mm and up sizes, because doing these little ones, that's a pain. But yeah, so hand painted. This one is just has the regular backing of the glitter eyes, and it's a pink backing, but it kind of works because the red kind of reflects off in it, so not bad. But I love this one. I absolutely adore this one. So I need to make a black one. So yeah, Avery Crafts a lot. Oh, by the way, I haven't seen anyone who's made any comments about the pattern. It's a pretty easy pattern to follow along. But the start of the tail, the number of chains that she starts with, and again, this is not a criticism of the pattern overall, just one step. I think it would confuse a newbie, because I think she counts this skipped chain as a stitch, as far as the number of stitches you're supposed to end up with doesn't correlate with the number of stitches you start with. So I followed it here and fudged it, and then here I modified it to give me what I needed on here. So, but other than that, everything else worked out fine. And it's quick. I think it took me, no, I was starting to time myself on making certain things, but this wasn't one of them. But I think it was, I don't remember how long it took because I'm doing it in half their brain. So there's that. Too cute. Need to make a black. The other thing I just finished last night was, when I first saw these, I'm like, no, not for me. And then I saw somebody, I think, make, did she have a bee that's like that? She had something else that's like this shape. And I'm like, no, not for me. And I've been watching somebody else who's doing this, and she was making it in batch. Because you have to make all these individual pieces. So she was just making a bunch with different colors. And I had a lot of scraps of loudness, life noises. She had, I had scraps of Posh from, so I take my skein of Posh, digression, and because I bought so many colors, I wanted to work with all the blues. So I took all the blues and I wound up a small cake of all the blues so I can work and do whatever. And then I just wound up the rest in a big cake and put that away. So the small cakes that I used, I had leftovers from this. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that. So I started making all the little bits. And I'm like, oh, that'll be a good way to test a pattern. So I did end up going out and buy the pattern. And then there is somebody on YouTube who did a tutorial pretty much of her pattern, which, yeah, I think that's kind of funky to do, but I'm sure they think it's their take on the pattern and did the tutorial. But there is a tutorial for this, or very similar to this on YouTube. Oh, there we go, the colors are better. So this is basically all the not all the blues, but I was doing the greens and then I needed a couple other colors, so I pulled in, this is like the Tiffany sea glass kind of blue, but it's just all the greens. Yeah, and she does have, in the pattern is a link to a video of how to do the attachment. And the tutorial is of, I guess, an older version she did, but it all works the same, like she says. But yeah, so there it is. And I have started making parts with the brighter pinky, I guess, or brighter colorways. So we'll see when I get that done. Okay, so that's that. This is, I've wanted to make these for a while, and I've been seeing a lot of people make them. So this is a tutorial by Cat's Crochet, I think, something. Again, it'll be down below because I don't remember. But I figured for my spring fair, and I put the straps in the wrong place, so I have to zhuzh it, but I figured for my spring fair I want to make like maybe 2 or 3 more of these different kinds. And they're free Instagram types of these out there. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's see if it comes to fruition. But yeah, all no sew. It's all just surfaced on, or it's yeah, no sew. There's no separate parts that you have to sew on. It's all done as you go along. Or with this, for the top, you do in the back loop, so the front loop is free, and then you pick up and you do that. So makes it a little fiddly because you do that after it's all done, but it's doable. So a little succulent. All right, and this I've been seeing again. I don't usually jump on the things bandwagon, because what I find is you jump on it, you make a lot. Well, I would make a lot because I don't like batching a lot, but you make some and then it's such a flash in the pan type of thing that you end up sitting on them after it goes out of style pretty quickly. But I just thought they were cute, and I thought for spring fruit type of thing, so let's see if I can, and again, a lot of the things I'm making are posh, so I was told it looks like corn. I was also told it looks like something I won't say. But so, can you tell? Oh my god, I am like sweating right now. Drinking the wine is not helping, I'm sure, and the hot tea. But yeah, so the first one I made, I didn't have my yellow with me at the time. It does look like corn, especially in the posh. Gives it that texture. It does look like kernels of corn, but it is the banana, what is it called? The floppy banana? Is what it's called? I don't know the exact name. But, so there's one. And then I use, this is the, like the highlighted green color. I think this is the warm glow color in posh. I embroidered the eyes on this one. And then I gave it, the pattern doesn't call for that end little nub. I added that on to 2 more of those. So 2 of them don't have it and 3 does. 3 do. And if that noise came across, that's the recliner going. I made 2 in the whatever yellow. So I guess banana yellow that's completely blowing out. There you go. So these 2 in the yellow color. And they have the safety eyes, this, and then one has the bum, one doesn't. And then this is the green. I don't know what this is called, but, oh yeah. So 2, 4, 5 bananas in greens and ranges. So, all right. There's 2 of these and one I can't find because I fixed one and I don't know where it is. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I had made the, and maybe I showed it in the last clip. If I didn't, oh well. I'd made this little, I'd shown this before, this little chick that I made and put in an egg. The egg was too big. So I just actually repurposed this yarn. This was the base of something else I made last year that it sold without the base. So I just pulled it apart and I just made a new egg that it fits better for the size. So there's that. And then lastly for this, and hopefully for this segment of video that I need to put together, oh man, I can already tell that I'm gonna pay for all that talking. But anyway, I'm gonna try to hold them all by the legs so I can show them all. Ooh, maybe not. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, I can feel the throat. I can feel the throat. I just made a bunch of fruit turtles. I wanted to make, that's gonna be so loud on camera, but that's the chip bag being rifled through. I wanted to make flower turtles because I made one as a gift for somebody a couple weeks ago, and I meant to make some more, and then didn't happen because I got distracted by other things. And then I saw what was it? The Duck with the Hat by Ali Crochet. She made different fruit hats and I'm like, oh, that's what I'll do. And then I'd forgotten about it, and then when I went to go through my posh yarn, all the colors were there and I'm like, oh. So the first one I did, at first I just made it without the stem. It was just the green on green, because that was my plan at first, was just to do, if I had multiple greens, I was just going to do different tones of greens. So, you know, I like to put the mouths on. And then I was talking to somebody, after I'd made a couple more, I was talking to somebody how, you know, I had this one, and she's like, oh, just put a stem on it and you have your green apple. So, green apple it is, turtle. And this is my own recipe of turtles that I use all the time. I still do need to make my mini turtles with the baubles. I think I have like one left in inventory from last fall. And then I made a strawberry turtle. This was done from a picture. I didn't use anybody's pattern for that. But yeah, so this is the Posh. That's, I think this is the raspberry sherbet. You could see the texture of it. It looks like it was a reject skein. It's terrible. Like this one, this strawberry glow or whatever it is, it's silky and velvety and smooth. And this is just like it was dragged through like within an inch of its life. It's just, look at it. It's terrible. So Pam of Pam's Crochet and Knit, I know she had bought a bunch, and I think this was one of them in the batch. And I'm like, that is, I mentioned to her that this one may be an off colorway because it is, and it's much thicker than the others. This, and so that's the strawberry. And then I made an orange one, and this orange is the same thing as well. It's really rough. It's not as smooth as the others, and thicker as well. So yeah, that's my orange slice. I use the Soho Mystical just to line that. And then I made a watermelon. So yeah, these are all after seeing LA Crochet's ducks with hats. I decided that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, watermelon, and then you could have said hi. Yeah, that would have been a no. Yeah, so he was the one making all that noise with the crinkling, because you know, teenager, hardly a teenager anymore, but yeah, lunch can't wait. What do you call this? Dragon fruit. Yeah, you can't see that there with this pink there. So I made a dragon fruit one. And next I made a blueberry one. So actually this is one of my favorites. This and the dragon fruit I like, even though it's blowing out right now. But blueberries, I've hated blueberries for a long time. I went blueberry picking once, and I do remember that, oh, it doesn't taste like what I'm used to as blueberries. What I hate is blueberries that have been baked, like blueberry muffins. Oh, it changes the flavor of it, and I can't stand that at all. And blueberries baked in anything I don't like. But just plain blueberries on its own, I don't mind that at all. I just discovered that not that long ago. But anyway, but I love this one. So again, being blown out, there you go. So it's a light blue colorway and whatever that blue color is called. So I only made one of each. And then the last one, is it the last one? Yep, I think this is it. This was the last one I made. I was going for the lemon slice, not the lemon, the lime slice. I don't think I have any more yellow to make a lemon one. I'll have to see. I don't think I have any more yellow, but and I used some of the, did I use some of the yellow? No, this isn't the yellow. This is the greeny highlighter color, even though it looks yellow. But so lemon, dragon fruit, watermelon, strawberry, orange, blueberry, and green apple. I was going to use the red, which I hadn't used before, and make a red apple one, but since I already have a green apple, I may not, but who knows. And if I have any yellow left, I may make a lemon slice one, but that's it. That's it. Or I may just use the colors as they are, and just when I make the tiny ones, just do a blue on blue. Not necessarily fruit theme, but just blue on blue. Yeah. So I can feel my throat tightening up on me, so I'm gonna go, and I'm trying to think. There was something I wanted to mention, but I can't think. I can't think of it. So hopefully, hopefully tomorrow I will do an intro. If I don't get to it, I will just piece this all together, and that's what you will see. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys later. And bye again, Allie, Carrie, and Keisha. Bye, guys. Hey, it's Laurel again. I'm not gonna do an intro to the video. I'm just gonna let the clips go as they go, but this is an outro to all the clips that I've done over the last, week and a half or so. I am still very much snotty, or stuffed up is more like it. And the body being mostly water has, yeah, I can see why. Anyway, yeah, this cold has just, doesn't want to let go of me. So much so that Father Minion he had enough of me snuffling around and got the double pack. And I did the NyQuil. I haven't taken NyQuil. I'm loath to take medicine if I don't have to. And he, on the other hand, every time he gets a cold, he keeps buying more, where every so often I have to go through the cupboards to empty out all the stuff he's purchased and repurchased. But anyway, I took some of that last night, and I don't remember what time. I was tired, and I guess it worked because I don't remember what time I went to sleep. I did not go into the office because nobody needs to have that around them. And the stuffiness just gets, the cough is still there. It's like stuck right here. What was I saying? Nobody wants to have me sounding the way I sound around them, because in these days, whenever anybody gets sick or coughs, everyone like turns and gives the side eye, because it's like, what do you have? What are you going to pass on, type of thing. All that to say, I'm home, hoping that the half-day congestion doesn't come down on me again. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, got my tea, my third cup of tea this morning. And I finished a few things yesterday before. I started it Saturday, and I finished it yesterday before I NyQuil'd up. So, I finished another hanging plant. And the way I attach this. So, do I remember who this is? No. I saw it, I did purchase one, I think it was from, not Oak and Marlowe, the pop-up lady. She does the pop mushroom. My brain. We all know who we're talking about, right? She does the tutorial on YouTube. Anyway, I saw this person who I saw this on. She, in a previous video, she showed that, and I went to get it, even though I wasn't supposed to buy patterns. I haven't made that yet, but it's on my list to do. But the most recent video, this person, Crafty Kate, I think is her name. I think. Anyway, she was doing a bunch of plants, hanging plants, or potted plants, and she just made some of them into hanging. And there is a Instagram account that has a lot of free hanging plants. So yeah, I did this one. This one was supposed to be the trailing hearts plant, and you're supposed to do 6 to 8. I think I only did 4. And then she has basically the same base, but different types of leaves. And this is the fern, which I didn't care for making it, maybe just because of my stupefied brain and tiredness. But I didn't care for it, so I only made one and just attached it. But yeah, I made that. And I made another caterpillar from All From Jade. So I had mentioned that I had caked up small cakes of Posh to use on projects. That way I don't have the big ball with me, and it's more portable. So I have little bits left of the cake, so I'm doing this. I started a blue one, but I don't know if I'll get it done. It's not hard, but it takes a minute, you know, because you have to do each of these individually, do the head, all the pieces individually, and put them together. The putting together isn't the big deal. It's the doing the bits. It doesn't take too long, but it's just the fact that you have to make so many. It's, at least for me, it's a bit off-putting. So yeah, so that one, it just has a sinker eye with the sparkly back. So there's that. So this is in oranges, and then this is the croissant colorway. Yeah, and I think I ran out of one of these colors in my small, oh, I think it was this orange one. I ran out in my small cake, so that's why I added this one here. I had already done this. So yeah, this is one of the Posh colorways that is thick, way thicker than the others, and more textured, rougher almost, while the other ones are nice and smooth. So it definitely comes out bigger. And then the other thing I did, I just finished that one last night, I think, or early this morning, because this kept me up. It didn't keep me up. It woke me up early because I passed out early from the NyQuil. But it looks a little lopsided. This is the way I stuffed it. But I just did another of my ice cream cones. This is Baby Bear doubled up, and then this is the Michaels Fuzzy Fleck, is that what it's called? It's like the Bernat blanket like yarn that has the flecks all in it already, so you don't have to do any sprinkle stitching. And it's got oops, I have these multi-pack of what was it? I don't know if they were sinker eyes or regular clear eyes, but anyway, the backing has these, it's like a rainbow backing. So there. So I have 3 ice creams, 2 in this, because 2 were given to the minions, 2 in this, and 1 in Posh. And I'm going to try to do a couple more in the Posh, but they'll probably be oranges, because those are the small bits that I have laying around. And then, last for this video is, this is a polar bear. It's by a Lithuanian designer. It's on Ravelry. It's not called a bear. It's called Meskis. I tried translating it, and it doesn't translate to bear. It translates to, I forget what. But anyway, it's basically, I had searched Pinterest for just an easy bear, and this is one of the ones that came up. So I decided to use all the scraps that I had lying around from, this is all Posh, except for this. This is just the worsted. This is actually the bitty stripes, but only this colorway came out of it. But so I had a good bit of this green left on my desk, but I had all these bits, as you can see. This is like a light tealy color. There's some green here and there. These 2 are the same greens. This is the bok choy, I think. This is like a hyacinth purpley color. Some blue. The blue's here. The glow green is there. It's just, you can see it's just a little bit that was there. So yeah, all different colorways. This is a gray color right here. I use some of the croissant, the darker blue on the arm, so it's just a mishmash. So I just wanted to do a scrappy bear, and as you can see, I had a little bit of the blue left, so I just striped it in. Yeah, and then to make it scrappy and patchwork, I think this is the bear colorway. I don't remember, but I just made a little square and I stitched around it with the bright orange or the strawberry something color. And I just gave it different kind of stitching, patchy stitching on the arms. I just did it that way on this one. I gave it that. Here I just put a little X. And then on the face, I needed to carry the stitching up, so I gave it like a little Frankenstein patch here. And then I was looking at examples of patchwork on Ravelry, and a lot of them has the stitching like all over the place, so I just did it on one side of the mouth because there's nothing on this side. Yeah, just to tie it all in. Yeah, not bad. The pattern, excuse me, the pattern has, sorry, my cough wants to take over. The pattern is done in a fuzzy, like a light blue, maybe it's gray, but a really fuzzy yarn, and I had no mental capacity to even try that. I don't even think I have any more of that, but I'm thinking of doing another one of these, but using my, excuse me, using my Soho Mystical, that skinny yarn from Hirschner, tripling it up and doing another one of these, or maybe even doubling it, tripling probably, and doing another one of these. So yeah, and then like I said, this is just like it's tied on in a bow, but excuse me, yeah, time to stop talking. It's lunchtime, by the way, on Monday the 7th, so I needed to get this done so I can piece all the videos together tonight. But I'm going to do another one of these with the Soho Mystical, just to use it up. So yeah, what to do with your scraps? Make a scrappy. So I have 2 scrappy dogs, and now I have the bear. Oh, my Echo cat in the Hellspun, which is the homespun from Lion Brand. Oh, I still get so exhausted from doing the slightest thing. But one thing Father Minion keeps telling me, I've gotten so lazy, like crocheting all the time, that I need to get out and walk. And it's probably why this hit me so bad, because I've been so lazy the past year. Yeah, so it's nature and my body telling me to like cut the crap and get active. But what was I saying? I forget what I was saying. Oh, the Echo. It's in a bag. I really need to. I was supposed to finish it this weekend. Obviously, that didn't happen. I did other things. But yeah. So I'm gonna do the Mystical for sure. And the Mystical it's a white base with flecks, but this would be something really bright when I do it. So yeah, another bear to come at some point. So as usual, if you're new here, I put on lipstick trying to look a little more alive than I feel. Excuse me. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe. If you don't, I hope you enjoy all the clips from this episode. And to all you OGs, I'm gonna it's 12:18, so it didn't take long. I'm gonna finish my tea, relax before my next meeting, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully with the Echo cat finished by then. Ooh, the other thing for this, the head and the body is done in one piece. You have to sew on the ears, sew on the muzzle. It's a little crooked, but oh well. All the limbs you're supposed to sew in the pattern. These are posable. They have the ball joints to make it movable, but I didn't do that. I just looked where you're supposed to attach. It doesn't tell you what row. Doesn't tell you what row to attach the arm, so I just guesstimated. And it does tell you where to attach the leg, or yeah, what row to attach the leg, so I just crochet them in. Basically, I crocheted these in instead of sewing them on. So the only things you have to sew on are the muzzle and the ears, or I had to sew on are the ears and the muzzle. Otherwise, everything else is just one piece or crocheted in. So easy peasy. All right, on that note, I'm gonna go chill out for a half hour before I have to go talk again. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.